Alright guys, in this video I'm going to talk about something very cool because in the last few years a lot has changed for me. So I want to talk about the things that I do these days and hopefully you can employ it a little bit in your life. In this video specifically I'm going to be talking about how to be surrounded by loads of girls. That means that if you're having some drinks at your house, there's going to be you, maybe one friend and a bunch of girls. If you go to a bar, it's going to be you, maybe a friend or two and a bunch of girls, and if you go to the club, the same thing. So the first thing to understand is that it's actually very easy. It's actually easier to have a group of girls around you than to go out each night and find one girl and try and sleep with her or take her on a date. It works differently because to make friends with a girl, you actually don't need as many things going for you as you do if you want to seduce them. So that's the first step, is to go out and make these connections that are kind of friend closes with girls. This is the first step. So think about it. Why would a girl want to be friends with a guy? Well, in their life, they've got maybe many guys that chase them, that are trying it on with them. They've got guys that want to get them drunk and, get them into bed. And it's actually very nice for a girl to meet a guy that treats them well, that invites them out, that looks after them, but doesn't necessarily try it on, at least not in the beginning. So the first thing I'll do is I'll be out with friends and I'll talk to a girl and I'll tell her that, she seems really fun and she's got a nice energy, something like that, and say that she should come out with us. I arrange, the day, I say some things that are going on, I invite her and I tell her to bring her friends. Every time I go out, I might do this a few times, and I get into a situation where on a Friday or Saturday night, I can invite more than 5 girls out, and of course they might bring their friends along as well. What happens very quickly is you get to form connections with certain girls in the groups that you get on very well with, and these girls kind of become the regular girls that come out and party with you. Aside from that, you're going to have their friends that come along, different girls that you meet during the weeks, and also girls that are in the club as well. When you're in a situation where you're out with a bunch of girls in a night spot, in a bar or in a club, there's certain ways that you should behave to make things just really kick off and get the girls fighting for you. So far you haven't really employed much game. You've got into these situations where you've invited girls out, you've been friendly and gentlemanly, and you haven't really thought about building attraction or seduction because you don't actually need to, because there's a powerful thing that happens when you get a group of girls together, because what will naturally happen, if I'm sitting with a bunch of girls or standing with a bunch of girls, I give my attention to one, I'm talking to her. While I'm doing this, these girls feel left out, but I'm giving her a lot of attention, I'm making her feel good, I'm giving her my full attention, and then I stop. And then I'm giving another girl my attention, I'm talking to her. And what's going on is this kind of a push-pull technique without actually doing anything too smart or too complicated. Just by giving some attention, taking it away, giving it to another girl, you're doing this push-pull thing that starts to build attraction. Now, something you mustn't do is you mustn't be trying to escalate with one girl in front of the other girls. So if I'm talking to one girl and I'm looking like I'm trying hard and I'm trying to escalate with her, it doesn't look good in front of the other girls and they might back off a little bit. Much better though is if the girl starts escalating with me. So if she's touching me in unnecessary ways, or if she's trying to catch my attention, what that does is it makes the other girls want to fight for my attention more. And the best possible situation is that I'm chilled and I'm relaxed and one girl in the group is working on me, and the other girls see that and then they get jealous and they start doing things as well. You can also do some very cool things when you have a group of girls. So for example, if one girl brings her friend and her friend is like some super cocky, supermodel, and she comes in all like this, it's often the case where you've got one girl that is just, the one, and she knows it. You can do some very cool things when you're in a group of girls or when you're introduced that you can't do in other situations. So I'd be very friendly with the group, and then I meet the one that is maybe a little bit, bitchy or difficult, and I'll just say, hey, nice to meet you, like this. And I'm going to meet her with a face, like a poker face with no emotion in it at all. Hey, nice to meet you, cool, like this. And then I go to talking to her friends and I'm friendly and I'm like this. And she sees it and she's like, why would he do that? That's something you can't do when you do a cold approach, but you can do it when you're working with a group of girls. Over time, when you've been out with one girl a few times, you should start to get a little bit of a bond. And always in my life, I have a few girls that I'm more close to, and I really look after them. I always make sure they get home safe. I text them to make sure they're okay. I invite them out. And just generally, I do what I can to look after them, to be a gentleman. And they start to really appreciate that, and they enjoy spending time with me. With these girls, they act like your wing girls in this situation. So you can ask them to approach girls for you. You can ask them to talk to a girl that you're interested in while you go to the toilet, to kind of DHV you, to make you to put across all of the good information about you so that the girls would like you more, and basically to do work for you when you're not there. And something that they do that is very effective is when you want to get girls back to the house, it should always be with that girl that's your friend and that you've spent a lot of time with, because the other girls will trust her. So if she says, let's go and get some food, let's order some food to his place, come back, it's going to be much more effective than if you actually do it yourself. So over time, when you get closer to girls, that's what you can do. From time to time, there'll be a girl in the group who you're really not interested in, but you like, but just not sexually. So in that case, you can disqualify yourself. You can tell her, you can say, look at this girl, she's really pretty, or you can ask her if she has any hot friends, or you can try and find a man for her, or whatever it is, all done in a very nice way, but in a way that disqualifies you. But still, that might even make her work harder for you, and again, it creates this dynamic where the girls are all fighting for your attention. So guys, there's lots of ideas packed into a short video there, but it's basically a little insight into what I try to do every time I go to a new place, the thing that I like to set up. And it's the reason, if you're my friend on Facebook, where you often see that it's kind of me on my own or with one friend with a bunch of girls. That's what's going on behind the scenes. So guys, let me know if you've got any questions in the comments below, and see you soon on the next video.
Training.